How many ways are there to choose 4 different numbers from the set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 such that the sum of the 4 numbers is odd? Alright, well, we're going to choose 4 numbers and add them up, and we're looking for just sums that are odd, and we want to know how many ways we can choose those numbers. So let's look at once we choose whenever we choose a number, it's either going to be even or odd, and we know that if we add a bunch of odd numbers, actually if we add 4 odd numbers, odd, odd, right? An odd plus an odd is an even. Okay, so an odd plus an odd plus an odd plus an odd. So we have 4 even numbers here. This O is supposed to be an O, not a 0. But so if we add 4 odd numbers, we're going to get an even number. Okay? If we add 3 odd numbers and then 1 even, we have an odd and an odd that gives us an even, and then we had an odd and an even gives us an odd, so we ended up with an even and an odd, which is going to be odd. Okay? If we have 2 odd numbers and 2 even numbers, then we get an even number. If we add 1 odd and 3 evens, we end up with an odd number. Okay, and of course if we add all even numbers, then we're going to get an even number. Okay, so those are the even. So those are all the cases that could come up as far as the parity of the numbers, parity being the even or oddness of the numbers. Those are all the cases that could come up, and what we're looking for are these 2 cases, okay, where we have 3 odds and an even, or 1 odd and 3 evens, because that's going to give us an odd number. And if we divide these numbers up into odd and even, we have 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so we have 5 odds and 5 even numbers. Alright? So, we need to choose 4 of these numbers. Now, let's look at the first case where we have 3 odds and an even. How many ways are there to choose 3 odds and an even number from this set of 10 numbers? Well, we want 3 odds. We've got 5 odds total. So it's 5 choose 3 will give us the number of ways there are to choose 3 odds from 5 odd numbers. Okay? And then we need to choose 1 even number. So that's just going to be 5. You could write it as 5, choose 1. But that's just 5, right? There's 5 different odd numbers, and so we got to choose 1 of them. Alright, so that's the case where these are the odds. We need 3 odds and an even. And the other possibility is when we have 1 odd and 3 evens. So we can choose 1 of the odds and 3 of the evens, and we'll get an odd number. Okay, so in terms of combinations, this is what our equation ends up looking like. These are our 2 cases. The case where we have odd, 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 even, and this is the even, 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 odd case. Okay, so let's calculate that out. Now, a combination is just we're taking 3 things from a set of 5, but the order doesn't matter. So we're going to have 5 times 4 times 3, but the order doesn't matter, so we have to divide by the number of ways there are to arrange those 3 things, okay, which is going to be 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, And then 5 choose 1 is just 5, right? Which makes a lot of sense. Because you've got 5 things, you just choose 1. So there's 5 ways to choose it. Alright, and then you have this 5 choose 1, which is 5. And we get to take it times 5 choose 3. So we have 5 choices for the first, 4 for the second, 3 for the third. And then, given any set of 3 numbers, there are 6 ways to arrange it, which is 3 factorial, or 3 times 2 times 1. Okay? So that's what our combinations look like when we write them out. And so basically we have 2 of the same thing, right? So this is essentially, and we have 5 and 5. So if you look at this as one thing right here, we have 5 of them here and 5 of them here. So we'll end up with 10 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2. So let's do some canceling. 5 times 4 times 3 over 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, let's do some canceling and simplifying. Okay, so this ends up boiling down to just 5 times 2, which is 10. So that's 100. So when you multiply that out, you get 100. So that means we have 100 different ways that we can choose 4 numbers from this set of 10 so that the sum of the four numbers is odd.